Hey all, back with Song of the Week number 4, Pur dicesti o bocca bella by Antonio Lotti. The two singers that I listened to were Cecilia Bartoli and Ramon Vargas. These are actually the artists for Victoria that we listened to in week 1, and the songs are actually off the same albums that they were. This time though, their interpretations are super different. Bartoli's rendition is way slower and includes a lot more ornamentation. She's doing this because when Pure dicesti was first put into an anthology, the editor of that anthology added a bunch of ornamentation, but it couldn't be done without slowing it down. So that's the version she's doing. Vargas's is much more straightforward and doesn't really modify the tempo nearly as much as Bartoli's. And that's probably why I'm going to do mine closer to his, because I can't really change the tempo of the piece. Now on to side-by-sides. This one is actually quite a bit shorter than most, purely because the song repeats the lyrics a ton. There are only 2 stanzas, which helps out with the remembering the words. Pur dicesti o bocca bella, quel suave, caro sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, pe onor de sua facella, con un bacio amor t'apri, dolce fonte del goder, ah. Surely you have said it, O sweetest of mouths, that softest, dearest yes, that forms all of my pleasures. Love has opened you with a kiss, sweet font of bliss to illuminate his name with honor. Antonio Lotti was the music director of St. Mark's in Venice, and wrote a myriad of different pieces in the forms of masses, cantatas, and madrigals. He was born in 1667, so his music is solidly Baroque. But to be fair, all of the Italian music I planned is Baroque, since I'm using the 26 Italian art songs and arias, and all of that is pretty much all Baroque, so Baroque for the win. There isn't much to talk about when it comes to the musical markings. At the beginning we have a piano e leggero, and allegretto grazioso. The first term means soft and light. Allegretto means pretty lively, and grazioso means graciously. The more interesting thing about this song is that it is an ABA form, sort of like a da capo aria. You sing the main body of the song, and then you go to the second part of the song, which is a bit different in feel and time, and you go all the way back when you hit the dal segno al fine, which means the sign to the end. The second time through, you're supposed to add a bunch of ornamentation, so you're just not listening to the same thing twice. I think I'm gonna add a couple ornaments in the second time, especially on the mio piacer part, but I think most of it is going to be similar ornamentation. The phrase marks are pretty standards. Since we're going back to the beginning, we can reuse the breath marks from the first run through. The phrases aren't super long, but I might have to modify breaths depending on how I feel during the melismas. Count singing is definitely useful in a song like this. I've heard this song a lot, so I know basically how most of the rhythms go, but if I had never heard it at all, count singing would be super important, because there are some non-standard type rhythms. There's some dotted 8th, 16th notes, and a bunch of triplets, so count singing is going to be important. 1, 2, a 1, 2, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 1 and 1 and 1, 2, 1. The piano part for the song is much easier to sing with than the piano part from Autunno. The left hand has quarters and halves, and some dotted eighths. But the piano has most of the spicy stuff when you're not singing. You just gotta count. That's basically it. And it's even easier because most of the time they have half notes right before you come in. So as soon as you hear the half notes, you just count 1, 2, and then there you go. Now onto melody on a vowel. I think I'm gonna start switching up the vowels I do this on. Usually my go-to is eh, but I think I'm gonna sing the vowels of the words. One of the hard parts of this, and I guess all music, is making sure that the vowels are good. In this song especially, it is important to maintain really good vowels because there are a lot of jumps, and if you don't maintain good vowel shapes during those jumps, you kind of lose a lot of resonance. And it's really hard to sing, at least in my opinion. Next, we got IPA. My Italian is good enough to not really need IPA per se, but one of the things I've found useful is that IPA gives you where you're supposed to stress the words and which syllable to stress. Even when I'm just in an Italian class, it's not always immediately obvious where the stress goes on a word. So thankfully, IPA helps me figure it out. I've also been figuring out a lot of the IPA symbols based on the sounds of Italian. For instance, I can look at the Italian, I know what sound that is, and then I look at the IPA and I make a mental connection between those two sounds. This really helps me with French because I don't know what any of the sounds are. So if I take if I build my knowledge of IPA through this way and transfer the knowledge of the symbols from Italian to any other language really, it should help me a lot. The story of this song is pretty straightforward. The book says the poetic idea is, you have just said yes to my love after I kissed you. I am happy. This seems like a pretty simplistic interpretation of the poem, but it's only 6 lines, so I don't know how much you can really divine a meaning into it or from it. Either way, I'm just gonna be having fun. Not all music has to be super deep and impactful, and I think this is one of those songs where you just gotta jam and vibe and have fun. Now for speak singing. I think this will give me a better idea of if I estimated the breath marks correctly or not. Pur dicesti, o bocca bocca bella, quel soave caro si. Finally, we have melody and text in memorization. Here is Pur dicesti. Pur dicesti, o bocca bella, quel soave caro si, sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, il mio piacer. Pur dicesti, o bocca bella, o bocca bella, quel soave caro sì, sì, quel soave caro sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, il mio piacer. Quel soave caro sì, sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, il mio piacer. Per onor di sua facela, con un bacio amor t'apri, con un bacio amor t'apri, dolce un fonte de goder,
bocca bella, oh bocca bella, quel soave caro sì, sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, il mio piacer. Pur dicesti, o bocca bella, o bocca bella, quel soave caro sì, sì, quel soave caro sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, il mio piacer. Quel soave caro sì, sì, che fa tutto il mio piacer, il mio piacer.
I think this song is deceptively difficult. Sure, the rhythms aren't hard, and the piano part isn't super hard to follow along with, but boy, there sure are a lot of jumps. The issue I was running into was that it jumped to different parts of my voice, like different registers. Apparently, I'm just not good enough right now to do them well. I think that this is a combination of lack of rock solid support and lack of practice covering from jumps. I should start singing with the breath I need at the top of the phrase, the apex, if you will, instead of singing with the breath needed for the lower parts of the phrase. What I mean by this is that when you go up high, you need more breath support and you need more air. So what I need to do is start with the air I need at the top for the high notes and carry that all the way through the phrase. That's something I didn't do, and I'm trying to practice it because it's kind of difficult, but that's something I'm trying to work on. Basically, I just need to modify how I sing based on where I am in the range, in layman's terms, I guess. This song is really fun, though. I had a lot of fun recording it, and I hope you had fun watching. Thank you.